Welcome back, Mr. Goodberry. The First Star Logistics studio is fully equipped and ready to record.
Welcome back to Bengals On The Brain, presented by First Star Logistics. I'm your host, Joe Goodberry. We're going to get back into watching draft prospects. And the Bengals, after free agency, left a few holes that still need to be filled. While I want to keep urging the point of you don't want to chase holes in positions of need, it becomes hard to do it and hard to ignore it completely when they're pressing needs, like at linebacker. They still have a major need at defensive end. And corner can still, with both guys being on one-year contracts, DJ Turner, Dax Hill, but also Jalen Davis as a stopgap slot guy. So you could see them taking a corner at 10 in the second, third round. I expect a corner is going to be drafted somewhere in the first 4 rounds. If you were to say one of the most likeliest positions to be drafted in the first 4 picks for them, I would say corner is up there. Like if they didn't take a safety, I wouldn't be shocked. If they didn't take a linebacker, I wouldn't be shocked because they just spent 2 picks on guys last year that they felt were second round caliber players. If they didn't take a defensive end, I would be kind of surprised, but at the same time, using the same logic at linebacker, Miles Murphy, Shamar Stewart, young guys, just paid Boye Mafe. I could see them waiting or saying, you know, we'll circle back around and get a veteran in free agency after the draft. I think on defense, corner is up there. And I know they like Dax and DJ, but extending both is going to be a challenge. I think it's one they could do and should do. But at the same time, if you got that third corner in there, you can turn this secondary into a strength of the team. I've been saying that for a while. But does it have to be at pick 10? It doesn't have to be. There's a ton of guys I've looked at, and when we did the combine film reviews and guys that stood out there, we looked at a bunch of corners that looked really good. Chandler Rivers, Chris Johnson, and so on. I think at this point, if I've done all of the likely picks at pick 10 film reviews on this channel, on the First Star Media YouTube page, look for them all. If maybe it's Francis Mauigoa, Spencer Fano, Vega Ione, offensive lineman, we'd have to probably circle back if we think they're going to take a lineman at 10. It could happen. But all the other players, I think we've already done film reviews. So what about at pick 41, at round 2? Here's a guy who is number 12 on our draft spreadsheet as of now. He still has to test. His pro day is on April 1st. Which is fun to do a pro day on April Fool's Day. But the guy I'm talking about is a likely slot corner because he's under 5'9". He's 182, so he's small. But man, is he good. It's Indiana's D'Angelo Ponds. Number 5 up here, boundary corner. Number 5 is D'Angelo Ponds. The red arrow will be on him with each play. We'll try to break down what we can. And nice to get back in the swing of full breakdowns. This is against Miami, obviously the championship. This is where Indiana capped off their very awesome and historic season. I love seeing what used to be a very small school. They did a lot of recruiting, grabbing a lot of players. Not too many other guys to watch on defense. Kamara at defensive end, I think he's number 6, if I remember. I watched him months ago at this point. Not as good as what some of the hype was. But you're going to see Ponds play both sides. Here he is on the other side, coming down against the run, was going to blitz that side if the run was coming that way, since there was no receiver over there. Ball comes out quickly to the other side. So we're going to get every single snap, not just the snaps where he's targeted. So it could create a little bit of some boring moments. I'll go over some data when we get to those moments, unless Miami starts to throw it every down, which they do in the second half. And we're going to get Ponds involved very quickly on this first play here. Let's see it. Watch him on the outside here. And as he comes up, reading run right away, he can see the receiver start to, let me clear that. Receiver start to come in and look like he's going to block this way. And when you see that as a corner, you're ready to go, right? You see that as, let me get out to the boundary, let me set the edge right here. And he does very, very quickly. I mean, the running back barely gets to the line of scrimmage by the time Ponds is there, scooping at the legs and driving. So he's going to scoop the knees. He's going to have a shoulder right in the hip. Here he comes on the right side here. Nice form tackle. That is what it looks like. So again, So smaller guy, doesn't really affect him too often. Here he is. Quickly sees what the route combo was there, right? Did you see that? See how quickly he snapped back on that as he's my buttons changed down here, so I can't go back 5 seconds anymore, huh? All right. Watch as right here realizes what we have. The slot guy is just going to come right here. We got a flat defender here, and the quarterback's looking, so he is driving all the way on this. If you want to throw that underneath, D'Angelo Pons is on it very, very quickly. Realizes it doesn't have to. He can relax. He can chill. Now we've got a scramble drill, and he does his job. Make that a throw that Carson Beck cannot make. We also got Maui Noah in this game. If we really wanted to get that O-line evaluation, you can see him over here, 61. Looks like a guard, in my opinion. I think he plays very boxy, very strong. He is a good prospect. I think he's going to be a Pro Bowl guard. And if you're comfortable taking a Pro Bowl guard at 10, fine. I don't have an issue with it. If they want to take Maui Noah, I'm with it. He is not your future left tackle, though. I'm glad the Bengals signed Orlando Brown for that conversation specifically. All right, Pons in off coverage here, seeing what's happening, breaking down with these guys. He's mirroring very quickly. I like to see how quickly, once the receiver breaks down, how fast does the corner break down as well. And Pons typically is very, very quick to mirror. A couple things I look for in corners while we're going here. He's in the other side, bailing off. Run's going the other way, so perfect time. You're looking for foot quickness, balance, speed type of athleticism. Can they plant, change direction, and burst very quickly to get up to speed? That change of direction and foot speed is very unique to corner. Receivers know where they're going. Corners are reactive, right? So that foot can't slide. It can't be slow. It cannot be too reactive. See right here, you see him, he's already planting, coming down. He looks very smooth, right? When that foot hits, he's changing direction. So it has to be a different type of athleticism. It's why they're typically all very thin players, especially in the lower half, because that's just, they can't be built like Deebo Samuel at corner. That doesn't happen, right? Those guys go to safety because they're not going to be, you need the most premium quickness possible at corner. So that's number one. Number two, competitiveness. This goes for every single play. I don't care if the ball's not going at you, if it's going away from you. Are you sticking with this guy? You see him at the top of the screen, right? You see how he's mirroring right here. And Beck was looking the other way the whole time. He is absolutely in this guy's hip pocket that entire play. Do you try to knock everything away? Are you trying to get to as many tackles as you can? Are you actively trying to jump routes in zone? Like when you see corners that want to be involved on every single play, that is a great sign for their future success. He's kind of in the slot here. I believe he is that slot guy. Not all the way in the slot, just in number 2. Because number 10 for them, their little Tyreek Hill, I think he was a freshman. Absolute freak show of a receiver. And now like this is, and that wasn't Pons. Pons was on the boundary, so excuse me. I'm sorry. We'll have to go back and... So Pons is on the boundary here. I think the arrow was pointing to the slot guy. So Pons is on the outside, bailing out completely. Cover 3 scenario. He's got to take the deepest on that side. And I wanted to see him come back and fight in and try and see if he can get to this interception once it got tipped. It looked like by the linebacker got back there, I'm assuming. But competitiveness and wanting to get involved as often as possible are good traits. They lead to... A lot of the busts I've watched and projected at corner in the league are guys that get disinterested very quickly, don't want to tackle, don't want to get involved. Here we go. We got a play now where he's involved. And then we'll move on to the last thing that I really enjoy for corners while evaluating. Top of the screen. This is as close to press as you're getting. That guy's off the line of scrimmage. You can see him very patient, balance off there. There's this one stab and jab to try and control the receiver. May have grabbed slightly there. The ball's out now, so you've got to let go and get back in position. Never lets go, but uses it to turn himself back inside with his long arm and knock it away. So in the NFL, that might be close, right? But in college, the contact rules are a little bit different. Oh, it got tipped, didn't it? Maybe that's why. That ball got tipped at the line. Just slightly. Again, at the top of the screen, He's up at the line of scrimmage. Yeah, he is locking that up. Absolutely locking that up. Hopefully we get a view here a little bit closer. That's why I like TV copy of corner sometimes. We're not going to get every single play, but you can get a lot of HD. You see him right there. Got a hand on the back, rolling with him. The other hand on the front side, just in complete control of that receiver. The last point for corners that I look for pretty consistently is ball skills. What do you look like with the ball in the air? Are you panicking? Are you freaking out? Can you locate it? Can you track it? Can you play it at its highest point? If you can't, you tend to panic a bit more, grab a bit more, lose the receiver and lose the ball at the same time, lose your speed because you're looking up to track it. So ball tracking to me is huge for cornerback success. Ball skills in general. All right, Pond's at the bottom of the screen. He's got to make sure he takes this deep half on this side. And 87's the one running out up the seam, so he's running with him. He's doing his job. And everyone else on Indiana has to come up and tackle underneath. Markel Bell, the left tackle, also is a draftable guy. I thought he was like a 5th, 6th rounder. Definitely fits the Trent Brown, Orlando Brown, and Marius Mims look. But he's not as athletic as those guys at all. But he was pretty effective for Miami. I thought he was going to be a 5th, 6th rounder. I've seen him mocked in the 3rd now. See, like, here's a run, and I know the receiver is running Pons out of here, but watch Pons stay aggressive and stay in on this play. I mean, that thing is going completely out of there. Pons has to play it because the receiver's running him out. But some corners know when it's a run, they're like, oh, okay, and they just let that guy go, and they're fine. Because this is I think that's a 3rd and short situation. Pons is still aggressive, wants to run with that guy, wants to fight, wants to hand battle. Here he has come up to help against the run. Play goes the other way. He's still working himself and staying active just in case this thing springs out. He's going to be all the way on the left side. Watch how he keeps his eyes in. Now he's going to stay with the play. He's going to get deeper now just in case that thing, the running back squirts out of there. He would have chased him down. He's not a guy who really gives up a lot of plays and energy. He's constantly staying active, even on a play like that, right? It's not near him. He's got to protect because the quarterback can keep the ball to the outside. So you're going to watch him jump to the outside just to be sure Beck doesn't have it. Okay, now let me stay out here and at least get engaged with the receiver. I think he gets targeted 5 or 6 times in this game, communicating with the chance of a switch type bubble screen at the top and never materializes. The run goes up the middle. And see, this is Maui Noah over here. I don't know if you saw. Right tackle number 61. We'll watch Maui Noah while Pons isn't involved. Right here, right tackle. He's kind of trying to take on 2 guys because he doesn't want to give up that easy inside. 73 should probably help him out. 73, there they go. They clothesline one guy, and the edge guy, Kamara, is able to get around and make the tackle. So a little bit better communication with he and his right guard. Probably could have handled both those players. But it is what it is. All right, Pons bailing out. That is, to me, this play here even shows how athletic he is. Watch him flip his hip open and run. Get to full speed, running sideways very quickly. Top of the screen, right there. You see how much ground he just gained off that? Like, look at those stride lengths. He is staying on this guy, and he's running sideways. Go throw that ball. Throw that thing. Now come up and make a tackle, and he does. He's running that guy's running full speed vertically, and Pons is just running open hip sideways with him. He hasn't done his full athletic testing. That'll be on April 1st. So we don't have that yet. We did have his weigh-ins from the combine. And we got a screen this way. Pons gets Markel Bell, the left tackle, to miss him. So we're going to watch. Keep your eyes on the left side there. I'll try and pause it when Markel Bell gets out there, number 70. So watch 70. Release. And this got to be Pons. That's blurry right there. Excuse me. And as Pons comes up right here to make this play, Bell's going to try and come and wipe him out so that I forget the receiver's name, number 10 now. But watch Pons dodge him and then still help make the tackle. A lot of corners would probably just fold on that play and go down, or just get out of there completely. Pond's coming up to set the run again. Tell me that doesn't look like Mike Hilton. People are like, oh, he never played the slot. He can't do it. This is what the slot would look like. This right here, him getting up to the line of scrimmage on the outside edge like this, dipping around, and making a nice form diving tackle. That is what it looks like. Top of the screen now. We got a tunnel screen going that way. Pond's trying to stay free and clear to force a fourth down here. Watch him on the left side if we get to him. If we got to see if he can avoid the blockers. This is him on the left. He was originally coming this way, but when this guy gets blocked out this way, he realizes I got to jump back inside now. So watch Pons adjust, redirect, get inside again. He's trying to stay active, right? A lot of corners, hate to say it, don't always stay active. We're in the third quarter now. Pons top of the screen. Got the tight end here on the out route potentially after a switch release with the receiver. You're going to see the receiver come in. This is zone coverage. And 87 go out, but Pons is already on it. He saw what the combo was, right? And you see him get over there right away like, all right, this tight end's going to break outside into my area. The eyes are inside here. Is he blitzing? What's he doing? Is he expecting the screen? Run going all the way away. Let's see if he gets on his horse and tries to stay with this one. I don't think he can catch this running back. That guy is big and fast. That Miami running back. I thought he might come out this year and didn't. Kind of a shock because it's a pretty poor running back class this year. Wonder if we can see Maui Noah on this one, if he got a good block or not. I don't remember. 61. Yeah, that's fine. It's a defensive tackle, but yes. Yeah, no chance to catch him from the other side for Pons. Miami feeling pretty good after that one. Make it a 10-7 game in the third quarter. Pons top of the screen. Plays his outside leverage. That's his job. The other slot guy from the other side, Miami, Keontae Scott, is not a guy I'm particularly targeting because he doesn't play any coverage. He doesn't play man coverage. We have him listed as a safety in our draft spreadsheet because they rarely ever asked him to cover. But in what he does, he's very good. Pons at the deep third there, so he bailed out and did his zone coverage. Yeah, Maui Noah, that 61's not doing him any favors because he definitely looks like a guard to me. Is Cody Ford 61? Pons gets his jam there. He's in that guy's hip pocket. Nothing. I'm switching to watch Maui Noah every time we get here. And this is a good job right there. Grab and hold. And really controlling that rusher. It's a defensive tackle again. So these are guard type reps. All right, Pons is back on our side now. We're halfway through this film. Come up to defend the run. Stay active. Indiana's front just really manhandled this whole game. And they really don't have a guy that's considered a top prospect in this class. Just a bunch of dudes doing their jobs, playing tough. I mean, they had a bunch of guys on offense. Pons close to us. Backing off. You see how fast he looks even when he's open like that in off coverage. Put on his highlight reels too. If you're like, this is boring, not enough targets, we're only going to get... He ends up with 5 tackles and 5 targets in this game. If you're like, that's not enough for me, I need multiple games or multiple targets to make a decision. I would agree with you. That's a good call. You should watch probably with corners 5 games or so. But once you get a feel for his movement and how often he's being targeted and how often he's giving up separation, go put on the highlights, because then you can consume a lot of that pretty quickly. And from there, you'll be like, oh yeah, Pons is very, very good. Okay, bottom of the screen. No receiver on his side right here, so let's see what he does. He's got to play the outside as the receiver comes all the way around. And he does a good job of running with it. He's got a little bit of decision making he's got to do here. Watch, I think it's 7 goes in. And then 7's going to peel back around. Hopefully you lose him and forget about him, right? Pons did not. He's sitting there waiting for him. Bails out, keeps his eyes on him. So, doing his job, right? This would work good against man, because maybe the guy would come with him and then lose him while he's running back out there. But they got zone coverage here for Indiana, so easy for him, for Pons to stay outside and not lose his receiver. Now Miami's going to start to throw the ball with a little more frequency. Pons at top of the screen, he's off coverage. The run play's going the other way. We'll get a chance to see Maui Noah blocking here as the run goes his direction. All right, 61. Let's see what he does. He's got Kamara, who's the DN here. Nope, he's got to kick out, get the linebacker. Oh, does just enough there. That could have been a holding, but he does flip his hips and get his arms on that linebacker, just getting a piece. Oh, yes. This is one of our best plays here now. Okay. Pons is bottom of the screen. Gets an off coverage, so he's got his zone here. Looks like a cover 3 scenario, right? Maybe not. This guy isn't bailing, so maybe it's just cover 2. Maybe we're like this. That's possible. So as we see this, and if that's the case, let's go a little longer. Yeah, I think it is. I think it is cover 2 with Pons, and which, again, slot receivers are going to do that a lot, too, and drop into coverage. So if these are our 2, cover 2, and there's our middle runner, the holes in cover 2, and we do this all the time, right? When we do X's and O's, the holes in cover 2 are these sideline hole shots. And Pons, quickly, you see him already spinning and turning and coming back this way. I'll go back a click, and so you can see, but just let's watch the hit real quick. Bam! Yeah. So let's watch his reaction time on this and see his reading as he's got off coverage, eyes are inside, sees 87 running the seam, and as he gets right here, his eyes are still in the backfield. He's still looking and saying, I don't think you're running the seam because I've got my middle linebacker here opening towards the seam. So his eyes, as they go inside there, look at once. He's ready to throw. Pons says, oh, okay, that's what this is. Let me flip my hips very smoothly, and let me come back and take out that receiver with a shoulder shot. He goes a little high there, so he's got to be careful. But at the same time, he's small. So for him going high, that's all he can really do. I want to go back just a click here and watch this because I think we can see his decision-making from this angle also. So again, small, but tough, right? We've seen him hit. We've seen him tackle. Watch Pons right there. Flip his hips. Get back to it. And bam. Not trying to lead with his head. He almost hit him with his back, right? Run going the other way. Okay. Number 7 wanted a piece still. Let's see how Pons responds to that. Let's see how Pons responds. He's on the other side this time. He's away from number 7. Man coverage. Looks like it. Looks like he's following 0. And 0 sat down right there at the sticks. Beck looked like he thought about it. Good throw. 7 getting open on the scramble drill. I want to watch Maui Noa here. This is a true pass situation here. Good job kicking out, getting out there. He's got a D tackle here as the DN kind of goes inside. Gets on his horse to help reset the pocket for Beck. And throw back across his body, across the field for the first down. Miami down by 10 with 2 minutes left in the third. Going back into off coverage again. Pons at the top of the screen. And that receiver's sitting down right away. You're basically trying to, this is a screen, but you're going to run off a couple steps and then come back. And in the meantime, we're going to release a couple linemen at D'Angelo Pons here at the boundary and safety. Pons gets absolutely destroyed by Markel Bell this time. So biggest size disadvantage here. You got 5'8" versus 6'8", as the left tackle number 70 is going to release here and get into. And they called it incomplete. Was it a low throw? Or his knee was down because they're saying 2nd and 9. All right, Pons, top of the screen. Screen that way. Again, he does his job. What's his job here? If you guys have watched my shows enough, even if you never played football, if you just watch the shows, what is Pons' job? Stay to the outside, right? He's got to force. Like, he could try to dive in here, but what's going to happen? If you do a twirl, this guy's gone. You're never getting to him. So he's got to stay to the outside. And these guys shouldn't have been sucked so far in, but your help is to the inside. So you got to force this runner back to the inside if possible. So while he does get blocked, his job is to maintain outside leverage, which helps 7 get over there. It's how you turn it from being a touchdown if Pons dives inside and no one can catch up to him, to the ball carrier, instead of playing your position. All right, he's coming down on the outside again here to make a tackle around the legs. Again, this looks like Mike Hilton tackling Derrick Henry in the playoff game, does it not? Left side. Playing his position until he can see the running back, and then strikes around the knee again, wrapping up as he hits the ball carrier. Condensed formation, he's in off coverage here in the red zone, tight red zone inside the 10. Get another run play. He and number 7 going at it a little bit. It'll be on the left side here. Again, he's got to stay to the outside because Beck is potentially keeping that ball. All right, fourth quarter. He's got man coverage all the way across. Good play by Miami. You get man coverage, and you got a lot of action going to the right here. And great blocking by the O-line. I don't know if you saw Maui Noa in that. Pons does his job trying to follow the receiver. Never sees the run play come up the middle. But watch Maui Noa, 61, get out of his stance extremely quickly. He's got that defensive tackle locked up there. As 78 does a good job with 2 guys. That jumbo lineman does a good job crashing and really washing down that and sealing that edge. All right, Pons closest to us, bailing out a little bit here. He is so fast and springy, man. Just seeing him get out of his press bail and get up to full speed is impressive to me. I mean, you'd have Dax, DJ, and Pons, guys that are very athletic. They'd be thin, though. They'd be pretty light overall with those 3. But probably their athleticism could probably make up for your safety room being average athletes to below average athletes. Five minutes left in the film. Nothing for Pons there. He's got 3 receivers. Okay, one's going in motion. He's got 2 here. Condensed formation on his side. Zone. He's got to see, is there anything here, right? Number 1 goes in this way. Number 2, I would say the next guy is now going to come out this way. Does Pons have to go with him if he releases to his flat? Instead, you watch Pons here. Watch him as he does see the same thing, right? Sees that running back coming underneath. So as he's watching number 1 and 2 right there, he quickly looks back at 3 and says, okay, my linebacker's got him. Let me drift back this way. And as Beck starts to work back, Pons flips his hips and runs with 0. I think it's 0. And it's a bad throw, so a little contact there is not going to be called. But it's good heady play by D'Angelo Pons. In zone, realizing you see him right there, looking, eyes active, staying active, not really giving up on the play. You know, William Jackson type of stuff, right? A lot of the William Jackson had the size, speed, ball skills, did not have the competitiveness. Deep ball on Pond's side here. This is what I'm talking about too, in terms of watching him flip and turn and run. I mean, you got a guy running full speed down the field. Well, he's looking back, so maybe he's not full speed, but Pons is easily running with it, jumps up, gets his hands on that ball, and knocks it free. You remember that play from the national championship? They showed the highlight, the HD, really close. Pons gets in there, gets a hand in there. Wonder if we'll get an angle here. Like, he's tackling his head, and that's not a good look, but because he's on him and he rips at the arm underneath, gets that ball to squirt free. Okay, now at the bottom of the screen here, still. Looks like the safety is this guy. Oh, we're blitzing. We are blitzing off the edge. Very slot-like. Maybe a little late, but you see how far he jumps over here. Watch, he's going to be on the outside, out of the screen, and watch him jump so far in. Nah, you can't really see him get through there, but he was on the boundary receiver. It's easier to blitz from the slot receiver, in my opinion. This guy is so fast, it's crazy. Pond stays with it the whole way, eventually makes the tackle. This isn't on him, obviously. Maui Noah blocking there. His Pond's up at the top here. 10 is just a different animal. Dude is fast, super fast, crazy. Had really good hands too. He made a bunch of one-handed catches in the playoffs. Maui Noah handles that spin move very well. Dumps Kamara. Are you guys also, should I stop it and say watch Maui Noah? Or are you guys also putting your eyes over there when we get the tight angle? And I give it to, I mean, this guy's just crazy good. 10 here. Gets the handoff. Watching Maui Noah get out there, get on the linebacker. Oh, the camera can't even stay with it. Look at him breaking a tackle there, spinning and bouncing, pinballing. Good blocking by 7. Make it a 21-27 game. Miami trying to get down there and make something happen on the final drive here, I think it is. We got 2 receivers to Pond's side. We got a cover 3 scenario again. Nothing happening on his end. So we'll watch. Looks like Beck fumbled that ball. Let's watch Maui Noah 61. He's going to take on the defensive tackle. Is the one that's going to get the sack here. Or pressure hit on the quarterback. See Maui Noah just kind of oversets a little bit here. That guy goes into coverage, and as he gets his hand swiped, defensive tackle just climbs inside and gets there. I don't know if that's a sack or not. 2nd and 15, so I think it was. All right, Pond's down on our side. We got 2 receivers here this time. Man, he really should have went that way, I feel like. Let's watch Maui Noah here. Gets out of his stance really well. If you don't make him change direction, I think laterally, he could stay at tackle. I just think that happens too much, right? Kamara's not some high-end prospect. He's going to be a day 3 pick. Nothing for Pons. Keeping my eyes on Maui Noah when we flip it over here. Pass it off. Yep, good job. He's sturdy, definitely. Built like a fridge. Very square body. Good catch. Is that 10 again out of the slot? I think it was. Let's watch Maui Noah here. He's got the defensive tackle. Yeah. When he has you locked up, not too many guys get through him or around him. It's just I do wonder if he's got the agility and length of a tackle. Ball's coming out quickly on the opposite end of Pons. I think the clock's going to continue to run there. Eyes on Maui Noah. Nothing happening. Cameraman's getting crazy. All right. Clock's ticking. Let's go. Pons at the top of the screen this time. And we're going to go the opposite direction. Picked off. This is where Carson Beck got a little greedy here at the end and ended the game. So nothing for Pons. I guess we'll finish it with a Maui Noah watch. He's got a D tackle here. Again, kind of punches to the outside. A little aggressive punch. That's just such a terrible throw and decision for Carson Beck to end that one and win the championship for Indiana. D'Angelo Pons transferred to Indiana after starting at James Madison, 3 years in college. You can see on tape right there, very athletic, springy, aggressive, good change of direction, can play man coverage, is very sticky there. When I look at like the small size of being in the slot, it can be a disadvantage, right? Teams are going to the bigger guy that can defend the run. But when you watch Pons tackle, you say there's really no limitation there. And when you think of Mike Hilton and how small he was, as long as you mentally think you're bigger and can get through blocks and under blocks and around blocks and still make a nice form tackle, it really doesn't limit you. What Mike Hilton was limited as was the man coverage portion of things, his speed, right? The Bengals couldn't really get into man coverage too often with him, and we saw that in the back half of his Bengals career. As much as we love Hilton and everything he did, he was an awesome player for them. Teams would try to run these long drag routes on him and just, Valdez-Scantling, right? Marquez Valdez-Scantling just running past him, and Hilton really couldn't do anything. D'Angelo Pons can run. He can move. He can shadow these guys and go with them. It wouldn't be an issue. And honestly, even at his size, he had a lot of success on the boundary in college. He's a very good player. His data is very strong. He's just at the cut of these guys who are elite corner prospects when we do our process and our grading on the draft sheet, which you guys will get at some point in April, so we're getting pretty close to that. But when you see Pons and see that the size is probably going to keep him out of the first round, that makes him a prime candidate for round 2. I would be shocked if it was even in round 3 because of the size. I just think he is such a clean and good prospect. If you can watch the tape and say, you know what, the size really doesn't limit him too often. There are flashes, there are moments, right? It's going to at some point. But overall, if you didn't know he was small, you would look at that and say, that is a very good corner. That is a very complete player. And to me, that makes it worth the pick at 41 for the Bengals. And not just worth the pick. Like, that's somebody I'm hoping to get. These next few episodes are going to be players I would really love to have at those spots. Whether it be, we're going to look at some third-round guys, we're going to look at some second-round guys. You know, when I get to like Jacob Rodriguez, Grayson Holton, not to, spoil all the players that I'm really starting to target. Deny Dennis Sutton. There's guys that I want to, Jake Golday, UC linebacker. I think he'd be a great fit as a Sam linebacker. So there's a bunch of guys here that if they take them on day 2, you can have a very successful day 2. This is a class that starts to really fall off at pick 45 or so. And because of it, you need to be sure on who you're picking. If you're just going there for, and now those are all positions of need, all those players. But if you're just trying to target positions of need, you're going to take lesser players because of it. So hopefully the needs line up with the value and the strength of this class at corner, at linebacker. But if not, there are going to be a handful of other guys that I still really like. There's tight ends. There's some interior offensive linemen that I really like on day 2. So that's what the next, we do 2 episodes a week. So that's what the next 3 weeks are mostly going to be about, are day 2 targets that check every single box in terms of athleticism, tape, size, character, and production. So that's what it is, and I'm excited for this. This is my favorite part of once we've already established who the top guys are. Now, who are the guys that are first round picks on our draft spreadsheet? Guys that check every box, because that's what that means. And let's get an idea of what they are. Let's introduce you. If you don't know who they are, let's watch film on them. Let's see if the film matches up with the data, and if it does, they become targets on day 2, and that's how you nail the draft. So until the next time on Bengals on the Brain, presented by First Star Logistics, it is Houday.